Many congratulations, Ben. Serious performance from both yourself and the team. You must be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, very. I think it's been a great series for us as a team. It's been one of those series where we've had no real individual standout performances, but different people throughout the whole series have put their hand up in crucial periods for us. And you know, in a team sport, that's what you want. You want to be able to turn to different people at different times and hope that they can break the game open for you with the ball and bat, and that's definitely what we managed to do this whole series.
Did you agree with Dean stating that the tosses tended to be quite significant over the course of the series?
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously the conditions that we've sort of, you know, found ourselves in on day one, the toss has been one that you do want to win. But as Dean said as well, you know, when you do win the toss, you've still got to go out and execute, you know, your plans and stuff like that. And you know, if you're on the losing end of the toss, you've still got to counteract the team who win it and choose to bowl. And you know, I guess when it comes down to Test cricket, it's who can execute their plans better and counteract whatever the opposition throws at you.
I mean, your performances throughout the course of the series, if we start off with the ball, there would have been times over the course of all of the Test matches where people in the crowd might have been saying, why isn't Ben bowling? What, you know, it's seaming all over the place. And then when you do eventually get the ball in your hand, it's almost impossible to get it back out again. Is that your role now? You're the battering ram where no one else can break through?
No, I think, you know, when you've got the bowlers like Jimmy, Brody and Robbo with the skill that they possess, it's trying to manage them at the start of an innings when the ball's doing its most. You know, not getting too much out of them at the start, and then trying to see what we can do to, I don't know, have a short spell from one of the opening bowlers to then be able to bring them back again with one of the opening bowlers bowling a longer spell. And then sort of bringing myself into the game, you know, at you know, an appropriate time really when the big lads have had a few good spells. But it's about, yeah, you know, understanding when I need to get, you know, the most overs out of the three big lads, and they've managed to do that the whole series, and they've been absolutely phenomenal.
And onto your batting then, at Old Trafford it was vintage Ben Stokes really. You played quite magnificently, soaked up the pressure at the beginning, and then were able to show off your full array of strokes and put yourselves, the team, into a winning position. That hasn't been the case throughout. I've been a little bit critical of your approach sometimes, not necessarily the team's. Are you still sort of finding your way between the hyper-aggressive way that you want the team to play on your own game, or is there no confusion as far as you're concerned?
That's fine. You can keep criticising me if we're going to win 6 out of 7 games, so that's fine.
Absolutely. The approach itself is for all to see. It's the results are there. I just wondered whether or not that Ben Stokes, the batsman, was selling himself a little short.
No, look, you know, for me it's about the clarity of messaging, and you know, me and Brendan are the guys who are sending this message to this group of players. And I said to the lads in the dressing room the other day that the person who's delivering the message can only do so much, but I thanked all my team, my backroom staff, coaches, that they've really bought into this. There's a reason why we've gone out and been able to perform and have the confidence within each other to go and do that, and that's something that's very rare. And something that you don't see that often. You know, this game here, with it being shortened, our main goal was to make sure that this game ended in a result. We felt we owed it to ourselves, we owed it to the nation who have showed the support throughout this whole summer towards us. And look, we will always continue to play in a way that we feel is going to entertain people, and always try and look at the positive side of cricket. Yeah, we'll slowly turn you, Butch.
No, I'm with you. Now, you mentioned your team there. There are one or two players, particularly with the bat. It's been very, very tough over the course of the summer, hasn't it, for batters top of the order wherever you're playing. Ollie Pope in particular, you put a lot of faith in him batting at number 3. He has delivered. Zach Crawley, who must have had some dark moments over the course of the summer, is now sort of showing once again what a great ball striker he is. Just talk to us about those young guys who are trying to make their way in the game.
Yeah, I think it's very important to allow guys time to go out and perform rather than not giving them enough time and almost feel like they're under pressure to go out and get a big score in their first 2-3 innings. And you see, you know, like the way that Popey's come out and played is obviously he's been, you know, someone that's been spoken about for a very long time with the talent he has, and he showed us here this summer what he's capable of doing, but it's also the style in which he's gone out and do it. And got to give a lot of credit to Zach and Leesy. You know, opening the batting in England is very, very hard. You know, even the great Sir Alistair Cook will always say that. But what they've managed to do is set the tone when we felt like we've needed to sort of put the foot down and be that little bit more aggressive. Yes, they've not got the runs they would have liked, but don't underestimate the way that the two opening batters go out and really set the tone for the middle order to go out when the ball's a little bit easier to play.
Okay, what about, you spoke about the young ones, what about the old ones? I mean, wonderful to have both Jimmy and Stuart back in the team, but boy, are they performing unbelievably well.
Yeah, they are just phenomenal, to have two of the great seam bowlers of world cricket, in your team is something that's just, I feel very blessed to be in the dressing room with them. We're very lucky as a nation to have two sporting greats still going out and doing what they're doing. I mean, I'm 31, I get called old, so I'm not quite sure you can call Jimmy at the moment, being 40, but, they just keep turning up day in, day out. They leave everything out there. They just, it's phenomenal. They're a huge credit to themselves. They're a huge credit to this game. And I'm sure a lot of young cricketers around the world who want to be fast bowlers will look up to them.
When you started this job, I know it was tinged a little bit with a bit of sadness because obviously you had to replace your great friend Joe Root. You accepted it and you came in and decided that you were going to do things very much your way. Could you have, in your wildest dreams, imagined that it would have turned out the way that it has? 6 from 7, as you say, you've entertained. Everyone's been talking about the approach and the way that you play the game. Was there ever a moment of doubt, or was the win at Lord's and that was it, you were away?
No, I don't. Honestly, I don't think so. You mentioned Joe there, and he's got to take a lot of credit as well for captaining the side for 6 years in the way that he did, to then buy into something, something completely different to how, Joe wanted to operate in the team. But, that's going to be, when I'm not England captain, someone else is going to come in and they're going to want to operate in the same way, in a different way, sorry. But, everyone's really bought into it. And I've just been very thankful and grateful that I've had a group of lads who have bought into that and have really sort of understood the bigger picture of what me and Baz are trying to achieve.
Great stuff. Well, more history beckons. A test series coming up in Pakistan. You'll deserve a rest before you think about that, I guess, but that's going to be a great challenge for you all as well.
Yeah, obviously we've started off the summer, obviously winning the 6 or 7 games is brilliant. Obviously a completely different challenge in Pakistan. Will be completely different conditions and we'll be up against different challenges, obviously with more spin to face. But, we'll still go into that series with that same positive mindset that we have to. We might just have to think differently about the way that we're going to have to approach the game with the different conditions that we're going to face.
Great stuff. England captain Ben Stokes.
Thanks, bud. Cheers, mate.